Hi, I'm Lisa Rosenthal, patient advocate at RMA of Connecticut, and this is Lisa Schuman, Director of Mental Health at RMA of Connecticut. And together we're here to bring you Lunch with Lisa's. Today we are focusing on Fertility Focus for the month of October. And we're here to talk about that piece you can't see right now, which is the present moment. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the past. Lisa's going to be talking a little bit about the future. And we're going to be really trying to meet right in that middle of how to stay in the present moment and stay fertility focused. That is our theme for the month, fertility focus. So what prevents you from being in the present sometimes is lagging behind in the past. That anticipatory, the cycle didn't work last time, it didn't work the time before, or the tests weren't positive, or there was some sort of disappointment that is keeping you from feeling actually kind of hopeful. And we know the roller coaster of fertility treatment is very up and down. But sometimes too much attachment to what has already happened keeps you from being in your present moment. And the past does not always predict the future, in fact, right? In fact, with fertility treatment particularly, we are adjusting things. Our physicians and our clinical team at RMA of Connecticut is adjusting things constantly so that the next cycle is going to be different, or it's going to be changed in some way. So one way to release yourself from the past, as our beautiful Justine Huell reminded us, and if you have not ever read her blog, Where's the Effing Stork? Please read it, it's wonderful. But she reminded us that we can inhale, there's our future, and exhale, there's our past. And this serves a couple of different purposes. One purpose that it serves is to calm our central nervous system, actually, that conscious breath. Inhaling, and you can count if you want. I can inhale for 2, pause, exhale for 2. You can do it much slower than that if you'd like. So it does two things. It calms the central nervous system, but it also reminds us our future is in front of us. Our past is behind us, and here's where we are in just this moment. So that's one tip that I have for releasing some attachment to the past. And Lisa's going to talk to you about the future.
So one tip I have, it's, as Lisa mentioned, it's very hard to stay in the present, and it's very hard not to get ahead of ourselves and to worry about what's going to happen in the next cycle and the cycle after that, and fantasizing about what our due date's going to be and all of that people do. I mean, that's very natural. Mm-hmm. So one tip I have is, if you take out your calendar, let's say you're planning to start your treatment, get your period around here. So your cycle's probably going to be 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. So you could count out approximately another 2 weeks, right? And then after that, you're going to need that 2 weeks afterwards, which is a tough time to wait and wait and wait until you find out whether or not you're pregnant. So you've got another 2 weeks. So we're talking about really a month or more before you know where you're going to be next, right? You can think about where you're going to be next. You can worry about where you're going to be next. But until you really know, you're going to be all the way at the end of this month, right? So if you can take this calendar and fill it up with things that are, number 1, pleasurable, but number 2, productive. And the reason for that is this. Even though you might feel like, I'm tired and I don't really feel like doing anything productive, the truth is that what you're doing in treatment is being a passenger. And I've said this before, you're in a situation where you have very little control over your experience. But if you put things in your calendar that you look at, you can put this on your wall, put it on your desk, put it on the refrigerator, and you have things that are productive, then you feel like you're putting your energy into something and you will get something out of it. At the end of this month, when it's over, you're going to have a lot of new experiences. So that may mean going to a lecture series, learning how to cook, taking an art class with your partner, something like that, where you're actually achieving something during this month besides just the infertility treatment. And even though that might seem distracting, that's good. Even though it might feel like, well, that's not going to cure everything. No, it won't. But if you're sitting there in the art class and 50% of the time you're really focused on your fertility cycle, that's 50% you're not. And that's better, right? And this whole time will go a lot faster, and that's better too, because you want to just wake up and be there. So that's another tip I think would be useful to think about when you're thinking about how to manage your future experience.
And to stay fertility focused, right? To be in that present moment. That just reminded me about those paint nights. They're so much fun.
Oh, so much fun.
So much fun. And I know they often include wine, but you don't have to do the wine.
Right.
But there's so many fun things out there to do. And fun and productive. I love that. That's a great combination. So thank you for joining us for Lunch with Lisa's. Lisa Schuman, Lisa Rosenthal from RMA of Connecticut.